So I got asked a question the other day, and they said, over the past 3 to 5 years, how has your life changed? And I actually deeped it. I was like, fuck. A few years ago, probably 4 years ago now, I was a career criminal. I was 97 kilos, and that's fat for me, bro. And I would smoke drugs every day. I was very quick to anger, and I was very quick to lose my temper. Now, do you know what? All 5 of those things are a symptom of the same problem, a lack of impulse control. And when I look back to that now, I think learning impulse control has transformed my life more than anything else, and it will transform yours too. Now, I want to actually show you how deeply this was affecting my life. So I was a career criminal. I did a lot of crazy shit in my life, and a lot of it was calculated, but the times where I would always come unstuck is when I would do something impulsive in the moment, on the spot, and it would always come back to bite me every single time. Every single time I would lose my temper, and this was one of the main reasons that I would smoke weed, is because it kept me chilled and it made me think before I would act. But the problem was, you can't always be stoned. Don't get me wrong, I was stoned a lot of the time, but the times where I've really fucked my life up, I was always sober, and it's because I would be in that reactive kind of mindset. I would, boom, just snap, do something nuts, and then for the next 6 to 12 months, maybe 2 years, I'll be regretting it because I'll be dealing with a legal case or whatever it was. So check this out. The first step in realizing how bad it was fucking me up was awareness. Like I've just said, I would look back and I'd be like, damn, that one moment really cost me a lot. And then it came to, once I had the awareness, it was trying to find an alternate coping mechanism. So of course you can remove yourself from the situation on the spot. If we're talking like an aggressive situation, you can walk away or you can remove yourself from it. But you know, the main thing that actually affected me and allowed me to really move forward and process these things a lot better was actually thinking, what is, and this is where you have to think like a businessman, what's the return on the investment? So this guy says something crazy, I smash him in the face. What do I actually get from that? You know, is there a camera there? Cool, there's a camera there. So if I punch him in the face now, more than likely I'm gonna get nicked. That could have further consequences depending on what I've got in my pockets when they arrest me, yada, yada, yada. You understand what I'm saying? So that was it. That was number one. Actually realizing what's the upside and what's the downside of this potential move, and then putting that space between the thought, the impulse, and your reaction. This is where it gets serious, because this is where you begin to change your life. Now, how to make this applicable to your situation and your scenario, you know, hopefully you're not doing what I was doing, walking around having all these fucking altercations and potentially violent situations. How it applies to you is this: that time where you're on your diet, you feel kind of hungry, and the impulse comes in your head, man, I should eat this fucking Snickers bar and these 2 cookies. Boom, pause. Yeah, you're gonna pause yourself right there. Think, what's the potential upside? Okay, it tastes pretty good for 5 seconds and it's gonna satisfy that craving. So then we get into replacing the behavior, yeah? And this comes into like habit science and that. You've got your cue, you've got your routine, you've got your reward. To successfully rewire a habit, all you have to do is replace the middle bit. So that Snickers bar and them 2 cookies, they make you feel good for a couple seconds. Now, when I wanted to stop smoking weed, the cue would be, I want to smoke a joint. The routine would be smoking a joint. The reward would be, I felt relaxed. Do you know what I actually started doing? And it's so crazy that this worked, but I stole it off this fucking military documentary that I saw, is, I think they call it like shock therapy. So anytime that you're meant to be doing something, like when they're building your habits, you just have to instantly get down and do like fucking 50 press-ups. And I was like, that sounds good. I love press-ups. By the end of this, I got sick of doing press-ups. I've managed to basically put space between the impulse and the reaction, and I fucking nailed this impulse control shit, and I started rebuilding habits. There's a fantastic book on habits. It's called Atomic Habits. I'm sure you've heard of it. And there's a very, very, very good one this is actually my personal favorite. It's called The Power of Habits. Fucking amazing. Charles Duhigg. But I didn't actually learn about these two books until I'd already solved this problem for myself. So the main thing with impulse control is actually putting space between your impulse and your reaction. Yeah, that space allows you to think clearly, and then you can start to define what it is that you're getting from this habit, and then you can fucking replace the middle bit. Remember, cue, routine, reward. All you have to do is replace the routine. The reward's going to stay the same if you've done it right, and then guess what? You're going to have an entirely new thought process. This is why a lot of guys fail on their diet. This is why a lot of guys get FOMO when it comes to going out drinking, even though they want to be hitting their goals. Guess what? They fucking get that FOMO. Oh, the love of my life's going to be at this bar tonight. All the boys are going to have so much fun, rah, rah, rah. And guess what? You fucked up another week now because you've gone out and drunk fucking your entire calorie deficit in beers. You've woke up hungover the next day. You've missed the gym. Now you feel shit. Now you're eating bullshit all day trying to make yourself feel better. Your testosterone's on the floor because you've been out drinking. All of these things all came from that one impulse. And like I realized impulse control was fucking up my life. So I was fucking up yours. This is the pattern. So if you want a full broke down guide on how to do this properly, I've actually created a free course. It covers training, mindset, nutrition, and habits, all there for free. There's detailed protocols that you can follow along, and it's $3.99, my brother. So you got no excuse. Let's get to work.